use the piecewise defined function to find the following values for f of x. Here's the piecewise function. We have f of x, which is equal to 1 minus 3x if x is less than or equal to 2. F of x equals 3x if x is in between 2 and 8, but we're not including the values of 2 and 8. And then f of x is equal to 4x plus 3 if x is greater than or equal to 8. So we want to find these values f of 0. Now let's just explore this a little more here. So when we take a look at the first function is given to be 1 minus 3x. And the restriction is if x is less than or equal to 2, which means that you have bracket 2, parentheses, negative infinity to 2. Okay, then we're going to look at the second function. The second function is 3x. And the restriction on that is if x is in between 2 and 8. So that means that x is going to be in between 2 and 8. Okay, and then the last function, we have f of x equals 4x plus 3. And the restriction on that is if x is greater than or equal to 8. So that means we have bracket 8, comma, infinity. Okay, so when we take a look at f of 0, that means that we need to find out 0 is the value of x, that is the input. So where does 0 lie in this particular restriction? Okay, well 0 is not less, 0 is less than or equal to 2, and it's not in the second or the third function. So that means the first function is what we are going to use. So that means here, let's go ahead and put that down here. So the first function, we have f of x, which is equal to 1 minus 3x. And so we want to find f of 0, which means we're going to plug 0 in for x. So this is 1 minus 3 times 0. Okay, which is going to give us 1 minus 0, which is equal to 1. So the first result is 1. Let's go ahead and put our answer for that. And that checks. Now let's find f of 2. So now to find f of 2, we need to figure out which restriction is the function going to be in. So because x is equal to 2, again, if you look at the first function, it says that x is less than or equal to 2. So we're going to have to use this function. In the second one, it says that x is greater than 2, and it doesn't include 2. So again, we're going to now use the first function, which is f of x, which is equal to 1 minus 3x. And we want to find f of 2. So we're going to plug 2 into the function. And so we get 1 minus 3 times 2, which is 1 minus 6, which is equal to negative 5. So therefore we got negative 5 for the output. So let's go ahead and put our answer in here. So we're going to put negative 5, check our answer, and there is our result. Now we want to find f of 3. So again, this is telling us that the value of x is equal to 3. So now we need to determine which restriction does this fall in. Well, we know that it doesn't fall in the first one, but you noticed in the second function, the restriction goes from 2 to 8. So that means 3 falls within that restriction. So that means that we're using function number 2. So we have f of x, which is equal to 3x. And then what we want to find is f of 3. So we're going to substitute the variable x to be 3. And 3 times 3 is going to give us 9. So let's check that result. I'm going to go ahead and put in 9. And there's our answer. Now we want to find f of 7. So again, coming back here, where does 7, as far as x equals 7, is located in which restriction? Well, again, it's going to be in between 2 and 8, so that means we're going to use the second function, which is f of x, which is equal to 3x. And then we want to find f of 7, where the input is 7, which means we're going to replace the variable x to be 7. 3 times 7 is 21. And the answer to that question is 21. Now we want to find f of 8. So now we need to come back and check, where is 8 included in the restriction? Well, it's not included in the second function because it has a parenthesis, but it has a bracket in the third function, so we're going to be using the third function to then find the input. So therefore, find the output. So we have f of x, which is equal to 4x plus 3. We want to find f of 8, where 8 is the input. And we're going to substitute that in for the variable x into the function. So this is 4 times 8 plus 3. 4 times 8 is 32. And then plus 3 gives us 35. And let's go ahead and check that result. So we're going to put in the answer 35. And there's your answer.